When I think about my grandmother, she was born the year after women had the right to vote. And it was decades of work before that that allowed those women and us today to have that same right. So if we look at the reality of the state of women in Kansas City and in our metro, there are so many things that are restricting women from opportunity.
Around the globe, it's really interesting that time and again, organizations find that when you lift up women through education and through economic self-sufficiency, it lifts the entire community. It appears to be over and over again that is the leverage point that lifts an entire village, a town, a community. So giving for women and girls is really promoting outcomes that help everybody. When you support women, you lift up your entire community.
The Women's Foundation is increasingly looking at sophistication around research and policy so that we're not just about the status quo of Kansas City, but the future opportunity that Kansas City can hold for all.
The barriers and challenges that women face really are very complex. It takes a lot of resources to address all of those. What research provides is a focus, is a direction. So when you look at the research that the Women's Foundation has put together, you'll notice it's a little bit different than other research efforts. There was a great interest in getting at those stories of women. And by listening to those stories, I think that we're empowering women. We're giving them the power to be heard and to really talk about their experience and share their experiences.
There is no other entity in Kansas City that is bringing forward a research statement and analysis around the state of women. And I'm thrilled that the Women's Foundation of Greater Kansas City is creating a space for not only the research and analysis, but for the voices of women to step forward more deeply.
The first thing that attracted me to the Women's Foundation was that there was a really strong message of women have resources, women have abilities, women have skills, and women need to take that agency and use it to make a difference for other women.
Well, I think first of all, philanthropy is simply a method and a way for people to become engaged in the social issues in their own communities. Sometimes it's with money, sometimes it's with volunteerism, sometimes it's with simple awareness. And any time that we can shine a light on, bring volunteers to, or add funding to help women who are in whatever kind of a struggle, and frankly anybody who's in any kind of a struggle, that is exactly what a caring community does, and that's why Kansas City is one of the best philanthropic cities in the entire country. You don't have to be rich to be a philanthropist, you just have to care.
Philanthropy is really about being engaged in something that makes a difference, and that's why one of our initiatives, the Rachel Alexander Girls Program, is so important because it offers young women the opportunity to start thinking about that, to start seeing philanthropy as more than just a handout, but really an engaged commitment to other women and girls.
I joined the Rachel Alexander Girls Grant Project when I was 16, a sophomore in high school. I remember being very excited, thinking that this was the start of something big, that it was a chance for me to prove myself, to become something more than a student, kind of a step in the direction towards adulthood.
And my dad has always said you have to teach people to give. And I really find that is true. So if people are taught to give early, and whether it's $1, $5, whatever the amount is, you have to learn how to give. But if you get people in the habit of giving, they will.
I was in my mid-20s, and the Women's Foundation asked me to make a $500 pledge to their campaign. They were building their foundation. And I remember filling out that pledge card, and I was so nervous doing it because what I was committing to, what I was saying I was going to do was huge. But making that pledge really had a profound impact on me. It changed me. It gave me that special feeling that you have when you do something that's really hard. It gave me a really special bond with the Women's Foundation that has lasted, till today. It gave me the confidence to know that I could use my financial resources to really make a difference. And it laid the foundation for what has really been a real joy in giving for me, a joy in philanthropy that has, lasted ever since.
The hope and vision for the Women's Foundation is that we can collaborate, we can partner, and we can work to develop solutions for systemic change.
When I think of giving, I think it's as simple as doing the right thing for the right reasons, and then everybody wins.
The power of giving is impact.
I think, frankly, giving means getting. You get so much more when you give than when you don't give. So by giving, you're enriching your own life, not just the person to whom you're giving.
Giving has made me feel part of Kansas City in a way that I wouldn't have felt otherwise. Giving has changed me.
The way that we invest in one another through our time, through our resources, through our hearts is what provides for an opportunity for transformation. And if we don't give of ourselves through those resources, then we're not opening ourselves up to see that we have an ability to not only give voice, but to recognize a voice and the dignity in others.